Y'all over there acting like y'all want me to start early or some shit. Oh, I'm talking shit this evening. Talking shit this evening. I'm talking shit this evening. Yes, I'm is. First of all, big old happy birthday to the GOAT, Prince Rogers Nelson, June 7th, 1958. place. Don't want to forget my man, but of course I can't play none of his stuff on YouTube. Got to burn some sage for this joint we about to do today, boy. Know what I mean? Yes. Talking shit. I'm talking shit. Hey! I'm talking shit this evening like you never heard before. I'm talking shit this evening. I'm talking shit. Yes. Come on, y'all. Get them likes up. Get this algorithm happening. Know what I mean? Yeah. All right. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Pick this up, bandcamp.com or brothertheodore.bandcamp.com. Yours truly, my project, Brother Theodore. It's called IMG, featuring Dr. Fink and Levi Caesar Jr. Cause just as sure as the sun gives way to the moon, just as sure as the gray gives way to the blue, I'm gonna ride to the heavens child inside my groove. What's up, people? What's good, y'all? Let me know if you can hear me okay and all that stuff. I had to put on my favorite Gorin Brothers today for this. Yeah, I got some shit to say, and I don't normally talk trash on my YouTube channel, and I don't intend to really talk trash too much. We'll protect some names, but yeah, I got some stuff to talk about though, and it ties in with some stuff that I said in a previous video, which was like talking about when you should quit. When do you know it's time to quit? Obviously, I never quit music. That's like in my DNA. Right. So yes, Joe B. I used to plan a project with Levi, and Levi is a good dude, really good dude, and through recording my project, have gotten to know Fink a little bit, and yeah. Funny story is, one time early on in the pandemic, I was driving around, and I was talking to Fink about something on the phone. He had called me, and I needed to pull over because I needed to take some notes about something. And I happened to pull over right in front of my middle school. And, you know, when I was in middle school, Purple Rain was like the biggest thing out, right? So I looked over at my middle school, and I'm listening to Dr. Fink on the phone, and I'm thinking, dang, if I could tell my middle school self that this conversation would be happening right now, you know, it would be crazy. But anyway, check this out. So, a couple things. I want to ask you guys, I know there's a couple of folks here on the channel right now that are members of this channel. and are always supportive of this channel, I do, I've always felt uncomfortable about the asking for, I know I'm not as big as, say, Scott's based lessons or anything like that. But I think I've been given a long time on YouTube. So if you haven't, if you want to, if you're able, support the channel. There's a little scrolly thing down there, ways you can support the channel, support me. I'm trying to get a new mic. I want to get one of those Shores that all the cool kids are using. So, excuse me. So, first things first, man. I want to show you guys a video, and I think that this will also tie into to what I intend to talk about this evening. So let me see here. I want to make sure that you can see this video, because I don't normally share my desktop, but I'm gonna try. Boom. Let's see. Can you guys see that video? Can you see that? I saw this video on Chris Daddy Dave's Instagram channel. And so I don't want to put these cats on blast, but hell, they recorded it. So I'm going to talk about it. I really, really want to talk about what's going on in this video. So let me know in the comments if you guys can see. Let me turn this thing off. I got so much stuff open here. It's not even funny. Let me kill this. Bam. Get that out of the way. Come back down here. Boop. Get that in there. So, yeah, let's roll the tape. Let's roll the tape and let's talk about this.
We gonna play through it. Okay. Chill out. Okay.
Look at my man's face. I gotta kill my music real quick.
Listen, chill out.
I need all y'all to calm down for real.
Wait, let's watch it. Let's watch it from the beginning.
Yo, you can't get mad. I need your energy, dog. You can't get mad.
Yo, they time out. Nah, it's not. All that. We gonna play through this. We gonna play through this.
We gotta follow.
Play through it.
We gotta follow.
We gonna play through it.
Okay.
Chill out.
Okay. But we gotta follow them.
Y'all don't listen. Chill out.
All right, let's talk about this video for a second, man, and it's also gonna really tie into what I'm talking about when I say I quit. So there's so many things that are wrong with this video. Don't do this. Don't do this. If you know young musicians, older musicians, don't do this. When you get to the point where you screaming and hollering on stage, oh my God, there's so many things wrong with this. And underneath, I don't know if you guys saw it, a buddy of mine, Prince Damon's, made a comment. He says, and they probably wonder why they can't get a pro gig on the road, right? And first of all, why are there multiple talkback mics, right? There's one MD. There's one MD. This is a classic case of too many cooks in the kitchen. Too many cooks in the kitchen, right? Somebody got to be a sous chef. I think that's how that works. I don't know if it's politically correct to say that there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. I don't know if that's but that's what we used to say back in the day. You know, somebody got to follow. Somebody's got to lead. Somebody's got to follow. Somebody's got to lead. Somebody's got to follow. The end. I'm a good MD. And I've had several situations where I was the MD and I'm good at it. But I'm also good at being a follower. When I'm not the MD, I don't wear the MD hat, right? I mean, Jesus, that's number one. Number two, you know, if there's a mic in front of you, you got to assume that mic is hot. You got to assume that people can hear you. I don't think people in this situation heard this commotion that was going on, but could you imagine the scandal if they did, right? Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy that you would behave like that on a gig. You can't do that in a pulpit. You can't do it on the stage. Your professionalism is first, right? Your dopeness comes second to your professionalism. I mean, let's say you were a teacher and you had like killer lesson plans, engaging, you had great relationships with the kids, all that stuff, but you did unprofessional stuff, right? Nobody would hire you, right? And this is the kind of thing that's going on here. Like, these guys are obviously skilled musicians, right? But this video will now live on in infamy. I was telling somebody yesterday, I was like, all the really stupid, egregious stuff that I did when I was younger is hearsay at this point. Only the people that were there, only the people that were there would know what happened, right? But now everything is like chiseled in stone. So this is like forever. I'm thinking about a situation where a saxophone player, really, really, really good saxophone player, but quite honestly, a D-bag of a dude. First time I met him was in a cave out in California, a wine cave. We were playing a wedding gig at a winery, and he was just complaining about, just talking about how he was like above the gig and stuff. And like, I'm like, dude, you may not need the money, but other people on the gig need the money, and they want the money, and they want to do the gig, and they like doing this. So if you don't want to be here, why are you here? So every time I saw this cat's name on a list, I was like, man, this dude. And the last gig I played with him, he like went off on a guitar player friend of mine, and I happened to have my GoPro running because I was about to move back to New Orleans, and so I was just like running. I was like getting some archival footage, for memory's sake, and I caught my man like really about to get on my guitar player friend, who's like one of the kindest guys in the world. Anyway, but that's what I always remember. I don't remember his dopeness. I remember what a jerk he is. You know what I mean? Or was, or whatever. That's what I always remember about him. And so let's fast forward to why I quit. And before I do that, I have to say that I'm not above. I'm not saying I'm, better than, or I'm above. I gotta, I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man with emotions and pride and all that stuff. And so I remember I was playing a gig pre-COVID. I just got my eyes checked today and got some new contacts, so you guys will see me squinting. Joe B says that stuff used to happen in church all the time. It does happen in churches all the time. It happens with cats in bars all the time. And those cats are always the cats wondering why they can't level up, why they can't get to another rung. You feel what I'm saying? And you could see there's OGs, old geezers that have spent their whole careers in somebody's church chasing around church money, right? If the church even pays, because some churches just don't pay. But you got churches, man, that's still trying to pay cats $100 for like multiple services and stuff. They spend their whole career in that circle, in that, whatever. I remember I was doing a gig down in the quarter pre-COVID, obviously, and I can't remember what we were playing, but this trombone player was taking a solo, and I took the band out of, because the solo was going long, I took the band out of the solo. I didn't really do it on purpose. It wasn't, it was just like, let's push on. But I also had the designation of MD on this gig as well, right? So anyway, I didn't mean to take him out of the solo, and I know he was, in his groove or whatever. And I apologized. And I said, my bad, man. I know you was playing. I didn't, woo, woo, woo. And the brother told me, don't let it happen again. Whew. Lord, y'all, let me tell you. Let me tell you. From the soles of my feet to the top of my head, I had to like do all of this. Because I'm like, bro, who you talking to? Who the are you talking to? Right? Like, I'm a man, bro. Right? But I couldn't emote like that. I couldn't get down like that because that's not professional. Because from a distance, everybody's an aggressor, right? From a distance, nobody knows what's really going on. They don't know the backstory or anything, and you can't explain the backstory, right? And so I had to kind of let it go, and I couldn't even talk about. By the time I had an opportunity to talk to him about it, it would have been kind of a done deal. You know what I mean? It wasn't worth bringing up again. So anyway, let's fast forward. Part of me is like, should you even be telling this story? And part of me is like, hell yeah, tell this story. So, come back to New Orleans. I get a regular gig on Bourbon Street. And the band leader is a guy that I immediately liked, immediately respected, right? OG. Now, I can't say I immediately respect him. He earned my respect. Quickly. I can say that. He earned my respect quickly. Let's talk about that for a second. I do not believe that everyone is just deserving of respect, right? I think that everyone is deserving of courtesy. Human courtesy, right? This is my thought process. I give people the courtesy that I would expect them to give me, right? But I don't call that respect. There are people in my sphere who I don't dislike, but I also don't respect, right? I'll chop it up with them. I'll share a laugh with them, whatever. I don't think they're bad people, but the way that they navigate the world is not like, or the way that, the way they operate is not something that I would necessarily respect, right? So, and when I'm going to come back to that respect and earning respect thing in just a second. So, what I'm doing right now, I think, is beyond bass lessons. I'm going to talk later about why I haven't done a bass tutorial in quite some time, because I think YouTube has kind of gotten a little BS, to be honest with you. That's a whole nother story. But, so I get on this gig. I'm replacing a guy who is reportedly plays too loud, plays too much, is often a no call, no show, takes other gigs that pay more money over this gig at the last minute, right? I take over for that cat. I don't know anything about this cat. I'm just telling you what his reputation is. I'm not calling any names. I'm just telling you what the reputation is. It's important. This is not about him. This is not about him. So I get on this gig. I know all the tunes, backwards and forwards. I'm on time all the time. Other musicians are starting to come to the gig. You know, when you work in a town where other musicians start coming and seeing, and other musicians are standing by the stage, that means your band done got hot, right? I'm not saying that's because I'm a flashy player. I play the shit out my position though. And I got to stop being shy about saying that. I play the shit out my position. I'm going to cuss in this video, in this live stream, because this is my live stream, goddammit, and that's what I'm going to do. And my blood pressure is starting to get up a little bit. So anyway, we play for a year. And pre-pandemic, things are starting to be like, yo, we playing the same stuff like every week. This is a band that plays. Why aren't we like adding new songs and stuff on a regular rotation? This is an important part of the story. But I'm not the band leader, so I do what I'm told. Right? So Then we get to pandemic time. We out. During the pandemic and stuff, I'm calling the band, hey man, just checking on you, seeing how you doing. What we experienced in 2020, what we experienced in 2020 was unlike anything anybody has seen. Nobody alive right now has seen the whole world shut down like it was shut down. So I'm calling the people, whether I call them friends or not, I'm calling people who are in my space on a regular basis. I'm calling to check on them, right? Stuff like that. All this is important. We get back to the gig. And everything is okay. We still playing the same shit we was playing before the pandemic came. We're still doing the same shit. People are still doing the same little barroom antics and shit. But it's easy money. It's easy, consistent money, right? What 2020 taught me, and should have taught everybody else, is I do this gig because I want to do this gig. I don't do this gig because I need to do this gig. I do the gig because I want to do the gig. And the extra money is nice, right? It's nice to have it. So anyway, my man's behavior starts to change a little bit. And I don't know what it was. I don't know what it is, but his behavior started to change a little bit. So let's go with strike one. There's 3 major strikes, but this is strike one. There's strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, and then several little things in between. And all of these things are getting to me. All right, let's go back to that video. I want you to keep that video of the kids yelling on stage. It's kind of a different situation, but I want you to keep that in mind. So I get a phone call one day, and he rarely calls on the phone. He doesn't talk on the phone. He doesn't text. Very mysterious kind of guy, right? Calls me. And he tells me that the other bass player has fallen on hard times. I'm like, oh, wow, that's, And I quickly understand what's going on. He has called me on the phone to ask me if I would be willing to sacrifice some of the days that I play. Because what it was, I play Saturday and Sunday. The other guy would play on Fridays because I'm a full-time teacher. And when school's in, I'm working, right? Can't play in the middle of the day. And I was like, yo, are you calling me? Well, that's my friend and I want to help him out. And I say, hey, man, you know what? Let me get off the phone real quick because I want to think about what I'm going to say before I say it. So I got a phone and I call him back. I say, hey, man, that's one of the most disrespectful phone calls I think I've ever gotten. You calling me to ask me to give up some of my money to help your friend. I don't even know that dude. So I'm like, if you want to help your friend, you give him some of your money. Right? This is the first time I've ever publicly aired some bullshit from a gig. Ever. And so, excuse me. So I let that go. I say, my keyboard player homie, I'm telling him, and he like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. So, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let this slide. Maybe he's calling me and asking me just so he could be able to go back to the other guy and say, hey, I tried. And he said no. And I'm like, I don't know what make you think I'm made of money because I'm not, running over here on payday trying to get paid. He made a joke one time. He was like, man, what do you do with all your money? And I said, hookers and cocaine. I was joking, obviously, but, I stack my bread. You feel me? Because gig money runs out. I stack it. I invest it. I do different things with it. I handle my business. Ain't none of your business what I do with my bread. Bottom line is, don't ask me to give up none. Don't call me trying to take money out of my pocket to give to your friend. That's strike number one. Then there's all sorts of little funny things that start happening in between. where he'll like try to call a song or something that he didn't say, hey man, if you want me to learn a song, I'll learn it. If it's something that I don't already know, I'll learn it. Then we would learn, we would bring songs into the mix, and he would say, learn a song. I would learn, and then I would kind of like force him to play it, right? And I'd be like, hey, we wound up playing songs and stepping out on the ledge. I'm like, I ain't scared of shit on a gig. If you throw it at me, if you call it, hey, if I know it, I'm going to play it. If I don't know it and you really want to play it, then let's get it. Let's see what happens, right? It ain't going to be no train wreck, but let's see what happens. It's another important thing to keep in mind. So anyway, the second thing that happens, this is big. This is big. Y'all sitting down? Give me a thumbs up. I need to know if y'all sitting down. Need to know if... Hey, wait a god doggone minute. There are 37 people watching this live stream right now and only 9 likes on this video. I need likes to get the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm to act right. There's 38 people in here. Y'all got to get these likes up. Likes. Get them likes up. Also, as I said before, I've been reluctant in the past to ask, right? I've been reluctant to ask for support for this channel. Down below, there's a little scrolling text. 38 people in here. I should be close to being able to get this mic, right? Get that new mic that I want. You can support the channel. All those links. You could buy my album at brothertheodore.bandcamp.com, right? I need to get them likes. I need to get those likes up. Thank you. That's 22 likes. Got to get those likes up. And I need to, like I said, there's some people, Stephen Bird, Fleece, excellent. They're people that constantly support the channel. So I don't want to discount them, but I definitely, I got to keep these lights on too. You know what I mean? So anyway, here's the thing that happens next. I rarely drink. I do drink, but I don't drink a lot. Rarely drink on the gig. But a couple of weeks ago, I wanted to get a drink. And on Saturdays, there's a manager that's there that I don't know. Now, the way I move is I like to be, when I'm seen is on the stage. That's when I like to be seen. Other than that, I'm low-key, taking my break or whatever. So, but I go to the bar and I ask the bartender, I said, hey, by any chance have you seen a drink ticket? She said, no. Okay, no problem. I'll get them after the break. No problem. But I said, well, can I get a drink and then give you the drink ticket later? No problem. All of a sudden, I'm outside talking to the keyboard player, and this manager, who I do not know, comes up to me and gets in my face. You the one complaining about drink tickets? And I was like, whoa, what are you talking about? I'm completely caught off guard. The band leader has gone, he called it a joke, and told the manager that I was the one complaining about drink tickets. Let me explain to you why that's important. On Bourbon Street, a bar manager will manage multiple bars, right? If you get a fucked up reputation, then you can get banned from Bourbon Street. Let me say that again. You can get banned from Bourbon Street. Hear me. Don't make no jokes on my name. So we about to go back on the break, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, dude, what was that all about? Man, don't worry about it. He fucking with you. Don't worry about it. I said, no, I don't even know what just happened. Like, what just happened? It's a joke. I'm like, there ain't no joke to me. I start losing my cool. I feel my energy getting up because now my reputation is more important to me than anything. Like Scarface say, all I got is my balls and my word. That's what I got. I got 46 people in here, only 27 likes. I need everybody that's watching this video to hit the like button. It ain't going to take you but a second. Go down and click the like button. And I straight up told the dude, I said, hey, man, fuck you. I said that to him on the stage. That's how pissed off I was. And so then I calmed down. I was like, okay, I don't know what the fuck is going on here right now, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. My blood pressure's up. And so then I start telling myself, you got to quit this gig, dog, because he about to take you out of your character. And I didn't do it. Didn't do it. Let's fast forward. So there's 2 major strikes, right? The first one was foul. This one was insane. Like, why would you do that? It's not a joke. That guy doesn't know me. And when the guy finally brought the drink tickets, I told the guy, I was like, hey, yo, I wasn't complaining about drink tickets. And he was like, don't tell me, tell him. And I'm telling this guy, I'm like, whatever beef you got with that guy, keep that between y'all. That don't have nothing to do with me. Why are you bringing me into that? Because my reputation on the line. Now he has an impression of me that isn't true. When I try to guard my reputation with everything. You see what I'm saying? So anyway. But I let that slide too. I let that slide. I said, no worries, no problem. No problem, no problem. I'm going to let that slide. Let's fast forward to this Saturday. This Saturday, we're on a gig. And out of nowhere, this female singer shows up. No problem, but like, she just shows up out of nowhere. And nobody, the band leader is the only, she comes, sets up a mic. She was a hell of a singer. Hell of a singer. But you know what happened? This is what happened. That whole standing on the stage, looking around, what you know. And he was like, the bass player don't know this. And I was like, wait, whoa, what are you talking about? I'm not even a part of the conversation. Or ask the bass player. The bass player don't know this, or he's throwing me under the bus. I'm like, I don't even know. And so part of me thinks that he has some obligation to the other bass player. Yeah, Stephen Bird, nobody needs a rehearsal. What would have been nice from myself and the other people in the band is if we got a phone call that said, hey, fellas, I'm bringing in another singer. Here's a list of the songs that she does. Let us know what you know and what you don't know. No, it wasn't no open mic night. It was a regular gig. And so at the break, and I told the chick, I said, look, nothing against you. I feel like I got some bad energy coming off me, but I don't want that to be your first impression of me. But like, we're all kind of caught like deers in headlights right now, because we didn't know, it's like at one point the singer, she turned around and she was just like, Chain of Fools, Respect, Ain't Nobody. It's like, yeah, I mean, pick one. Like, you gonna get what you gonna get. But we all know some variation of those songs. But that is never a good thing when you are trying to figure out songs on stage. So again, we were all blindsided by the singer being there. And we're all, just kind of like, what the fuck? But continually through the day, he's throwing me under the bus. And I'm like, dude, I have never given this brother nothing but respect and courtesy. I've showed up. Me and the keyboard players, like, we've elevated your gig, dude. We've elevated your shit. Why are you doing this? So the gig is over and I'm leaving. My head is just spinning because I'm like, I can't do this no more. Because this brother is going to make me tell him something and it's probably going to be on stage. And I can't do that. But this is fucking me up, right? This is like not how I do things. You know what I mean? It's not. So let's get back to what I was talking about a couple of weeks ago. I was talking about the gig triangle. I like to call it the gig square. Here it is. The money, the music, the hang, and the networking. For those who don't know, the money is obvious. The music. Am I being challenged musically? Nah, I'm playing the same shit every week. Every week I'm playing the same thing. So I'm not being challenged musically. There's some songs I play like, fuck, I got to play this again. Right? So no musical challenges. The hang. Let's talk about the hang. So the networking. Not a whole lot of this is cool. Not a whole lot of networking to be had. So that's 2 things out of 4. That's like, The hang. Not if we doing that. So the only thing left is the money. And a couple of things about the money. Number 1, the money was consistent. But truth be told, we were getting paid less money when we came back. And he had called me one day and was like, well, I'm going to quit the gig or whatever because they playing with my money, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, we just got back. So, whatever. Let's give it some time and let's. And I remember talking to him and saying, we playing the same shit we was playing before the pandemic. The band isn't any better. We never played Boogie Oogie Oogie because it was all guys, so we never played that. But we played, fantastic. We used to play some Tony song all the time. It's just like, dude, what the fuck, man? Anyway, so I said the band isn't no better than it was pre-pandemic, right? And I've noticed a lot of that, and somebody gonna get their feelings hurt, but I've noticed a lot of that, and just I'm like, damn, we had a year off. That's how we doing it? Well, we just coming back and doing the same old shit we was doing before. And like, it's like, imagine going to your job and you ain't really doing anything but the bare minimum on your job, and you ask your boss for a raise, and your boss looks at you like, are you serious? Like, you want a raise? Like, you're doing the bare minimum. You're doing the bare minimum, bro. So as I examine the gig square, the money, the music, the hang, the networking, as I examine those things, it was like there are too many pieces of this puzzle that are missing. So I go, I'm talking to the keyboard player on the way home, and I said, I can't do this no more, dog. You know what I mean? And I had said a couple times, I done gave this dude too many chances, bro. Like, he doing like real wild shit. And I do think the motive is for him to get his homie back, right? So I go home, I take a nap, and I text him. I say, hey, call me. Take me about a 45-minute, hour nap, and he calls me. As soon as he picks up the phone, I start thinking, am I going to do this right now? And I say, yeah, I'm going to do this. And I said, hey, Fleece, thanks for the super chat. Hey, he's right. He's right. Fleece just threw a super chat up there, $12.50. 5% of that microphone I'm trying to get. There's 44 people in here. Get them super chats in there. I get that mic. Nobody wants to feel like they're not valued. Not even me. But then I started thinking about who I am. And when I say who I am, I mean who I am divinely. Who I am as a person. Who I am as a musician. And this is not arrogance at all. I need to stop trying to preface that and clean that up and say things about that, and I need to be fully transparent about that. It's not arrogance. It's like I'm trying to. Oh, Adam Arts. Adam Arts is a badass bass player. God, he's dope. You are dope, man. Trying to get that Shure MV something or other. You know the one. Anyway, Shure MV7, yeah. I'm not all that, but I play my position well, and I've had a long career as a musician, and so for me to say I'm just gonna hang my hat here and settle here is not how I roll. I try to leave situations before they become contentious, and this situation was becoming contentious. Stephen Bird, thank you for the super chat. So I said, hey man, look, I when we first met, we had a conversation, and we did. When we first met, I said, and we both agreed that respect is greater than money. Let me say that again. Respect is greater than money. Respect is greater than money. And he agreed. And I said, hey man, I don't feel like I'm being respected on this gig anymore. And it's come time where I feel like I really need to step back. I need to step off the gig is what I really said, because I didn't want to make it seem like I was taking a break and wanted to come back. I'm like, no, I'm done. I said, I can play Sunday, or you can find somebody else to play on Sunday. But after that, I'm done. He said, well, let me call around and see if I can find somebody to play. And he did that. And then he called me back. And his words to me, you guys sitting down? You ready for it? His words to me, it was nice meeting you. I appreciate it. That's what he said to me. After a year, he said, it was nice meeting you. Excellent, my brother. Thanks for the super chat. He said, it's nice meeting you. And that was confirmation. That was confirmation for me. It was confirmation that you have overstayed your welcome. When I was a kid, I remember, I was raised by a single mother, and I remember my mom. My mom didn't really date or bring men around me. One time a guy came around me, but I didn't see men in my mother's life. She didn't do that. But I remember telling her one time, I said, if a man ever hit you, I would kill him. And my mother looked at me. God bless her. She looked at me and she said, son, JB, thanks for the super chat. This story has a great silver lining to it. Don't get it twisted. Seriously, silver lining. They all do. They always do. She said to me, if a man hit me one time and I let him get away with it, that must be what I want. That's a word. Let me say that again. She said, if a man hit me one time and I let him get away with it, that must be what I want. So that means to me that she's like, it ain't gonna happen but the one time. Feel me? And so here I am sitting in a situation where I'm like, I'm better than this. I'm not better than the people. I'm not even better than the gig, but I'm better than the treatment that I'm getting on this gig. When I've earned the respect. Am I saying, if I've earned the respect by knowing the tunes, by playing the shit out of my position, by being easy to work with, being professional, being communicative. If I've earned the respect on the gig, but you won't give it, then I have to remove myself out of the situation. If I've earned the respect, but I can't get it, I got to remove myself out of the situation. And that was the best thing for me to do. But let me tell you, I'm already getting calls from contacts that I have in LA for fly dates that I would have had to turn down if I was on that shit. I can't even tell you the opportunity. There's opportunities that have come up that I just can't even talk about. But I sit down and I was looking at myself and I said, and sometimes you got to look at yourself and be like, do you know who you are? Do you know who the fuck you are? That's not arrogance. That is, I will bring my very best A game to your gig. But I also need respect in return. None of these gigs pay a whole lot of money. None of them do. None of them do. If I hire a musician for something, I'll tell them I can never pay you what you're really worth. Because if I called you, you're that dope. I try not to call bottom of the barrel motherfuckers. But if I call you, I feel like I will never be able to pay you what you are worth. The least I could do is treat you with the utmost respect. Right? Am I right or am I right? The least I could do is treat you with respect. I'm going to pay you monetarily for the gig. Of course. Of course. But since I know what I'm going to pay you for the gig is not nearly what you are worth, then the least I could do is treat you courteously and respectfully. The man told me it was nice meeting you. And so then I went to the club and I got my stuff. Went to the club, got my stuff. And I say, look, I don't know how, I'll find that money somewhere else. Money is only energy. I will find that money somewhere else. Right? People caught wind of it that I left. The sound guy chewed him out. The bouncer chewed him out. Like, what the fuck did you do? But hey, if you want to go back to having to call a different bass player every weekend, cool. If you want to know, wonder if a bass player is going to show up or not, cool. I don't even know if I'm going to leave this up or not, but maybe I should leave it up. So if anybody has any questions, I could direct them to this video. Right? But so many opportunities opened up, like right after. I didn't call any names. So, where I'm at with this, and I guess when I think about, I alluded earlier to not doing a bunch of tutorials and stuff. YouTube is a trip, man. You can't do like, he didn't let you do the last 2 dates. No, there was nothing to let me do. I played that. This happened this weekend. So I was supposed to play Saturday and Sunday. I played Saturday and I was like, nah, dude, you are tripping. If you think you going to handle me like this on this gig, you are tripping. I've done nothing to you. I don't even know where this is going. The only thing that I could think is that he has some sort of debt he needs to pay to this other bass player. And he somehow needs to get this other bass player back on the gig. That's the only thing I could think is the case, right? But there's a different way to do that. There's a different way to do that. Instead of burning, because I'll never play with him again. Never. Right? And so I gave him the option. I said, look, I can play tomorrow, meaning this past Sunday. I can play, or you can get somebody else to do it. However, come next week, I won't be there. Oh, shit. I forgot one of the biggest strikes. I forgot one of the biggest strikes. How could I forget this? There were so many. How could I forget this one? 2 weeks ago, so the way that I handle things is, they pay you in the middle of the week on Bourbon Street, right? Since I have other sources of income, I try not to be on Bourbon Street if I ain't got to be on Bourbon Street for several different reasons. But I always say, hold my money until Saturday, which must give him the impression that I'm just rolling in dope, which I am not. So, week before last, it was the manager can't get into the safe. So I'll have to get your bread in the middle of the week or next weekend. Okay. All right. No problem. So that's 1 week's worth of pay, 1 weekend's worth of pay that I ain't seen. I'm actually not an empath. I don't think I'm an empath at all. I try to be understanding, but I'm not an empath. J. Michael. So me and the keyboard player haven't been paid. And I'm thinking to myself, the fuck you mean the manager can't get into the safe? Everybody else done got paid. You got paid. Seriously, the manager can't get into the safe? Okay. And I went with that. So then the following weekend came. Again, no problem. Hold my money till Saturday. The keyboard player is like, hey, dude got until X, Y, and Z to pay me or I'm not showing up. So I hit the keyboard player. I'm like, did you get paid? He's like, yeah, I got paid. But I ain't heard from the dude. So by the time I got to the gig, I said, hey, bro, I haven't heard from you, man. What's up with the bread? And I literally have my stuff on the side of the stage like, hey, I'm not setting up until I get paid. Like, you are egregiously late with my money. I don't even know how I forgot to tell y'all that. I'm talking about egregiously late with my money. I ain't heard from you. You ain't picked up the phone. You ain't called me. You ain't communicated with me and nothing. So he tried to laugh it off, joke it off. Man, I'm gonna have it at the break. He did have it at the break. But I was like, It's all these things, dog. It's all these little things. But when I tell you that not 24 hours later after quitting the gig, other things started opening up, right? Other things started happening. I spent all of last week filming a TV show, right? Like, and I can't talk about the TV show. But I will tell you this, that, can I say this? There's a legend who I didn't know was on set that I'm in some scenes with. And I'm telling the drummer, I'm like, do you really know who that is right there? When it airs sometime months from now or whatever, I'll tell you guys who it is. But anyway, just things started opening up from there. And so I get back into myself and saying, stop. You need to turn off the noise. You need to turn off the noise. On Bourbon Street, and I enjoyed the energy of Bourbon Street. I really did. There's a lot of fun things. There's always something to look at. Things like that. A lot of energy. But, when I would leave Bourbon Street and I would need like hours of quiet. It was taking energy and brain space. And also when I was on Bourbon Street, like if I hadn't had any breakfast or whatever, I would wind up eating like Bourbon Street pizza and shit. And that's not good either. But my heart started saying, this is good. And you need to get back in here And here, you need to manifest. This is not, stop. This is not where you're supposed to be. And so this is where where I'm gonna start landing the plane. You know me, I'm just talking. And I don't think I've I've never made a video out of anger. I've never put people on blast. I do not believe that I've put anybody on blast with this video. But I ain't gonna let nobody lie on me. I'm not gonna let nobody treat me like shit. I'm just not gonna do that. And more importantly, I'm not gonna let situations and things or people suck away energy from me that I could be using to manifest positive things and positivity and opportunity in my life. You see what I mean? So, as a follow-up to the video, when should you quit a band or a gig? You got it. That video was about this situation, because I have been thinking about it for a long time. I had some good times on Bourbon Street. Maybe I will again with another band. I think what disappoints me is when I have come to like a person, when I have come to respect a person, and then they do things and that respect is gone. That hurts. So J. Michael said, you're an empath. I'm not an empath. Not all. I'm a Scorpio. And y'all know what that means. I am a compassionate person. I'm a caring person. I'm a feeling person, and I'm usually pretty good about removing, when shit don't work for me, I just leave, and I'm 50, I was talking to a friend of mine in Oakland today, and I call it fuck it 50, where I feel like, I don't know, I know a lot. I've been around the block a lot, right? But you get to a certain place in your life where you're just like, yeah, you know what? I'm over them kind of games. That happens for people at various stages of their life. But especially when you become middle-aged, you're just like, I'm not going to do that. And I'm glad that I had the wherewithal and the foresight years ago to say, you can't just be a bass player for other people. You also have to build your own brand as well. You know what I mean? So, there it is. I quit. And by quit, I mean I quit. I quit the bullshit. Stephen Bird, an empath won't leave. They sit there and absorb it. Yeah. But just peace, man. Peace. And I think we all deserve it. I think that if 2020 showed us nothing, oh my God. If 2020 showed us nothing, it showed us that life is finite. We all, you life is finite, right? You have that understanding. But if 2020 taught us nothing, is that you could be gone at a moment's notice. Everything that you know and love can end at a moment's notice. Right? That's what I learned. That's one of the things I learned in 2020. And how we re-enter the world or what people do is their business. But for me, I can't just go back and say, okay, 2020 is over, 2021, let's just go back to doing the same shit. 2021 is like, I look at myself and say, Ted, you are in the second act of your life. You are not a child. You're not an old man, but you're also not a child, right? This is the second act. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Adam Arts. I've stayed at a place to play for little pay because the people are honest and a pleasure to work with. Respect definitely means a lot more than just money. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm telling you right now, I've played with artists that were super, 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 super dope that I don't care to ever play with again. And I've played with other people that were okay. But they were cool people, honest people. The money was always on time. The hang was always cool. Many of those people I'm still friends with to this day, after years. You know, RB, welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, so respect is more than money. Respect is greater 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 than money. Again, I don't think everybody gets respect right off the bat. I think you have to earn respect. Everyone deserves courtesy right off the bat. You deserve courtesy right off the bat. Courtesy. Common decency. Courtesy. When you earn the respect and you can't get it, time to go. Time to go. If you've earned the respect and you still can't get it, it's time to go. But it does make me very, very sad. It makes me very, very sad to lose respect for someone that I once had it for. That makes me sad. That does. I am never a fan of seeing a relationship dissolve. But it happens. Adam Arts, thanks for hanging in, man. Adam Arts, if you guys check out Adam Arts' YouTube channel, he's a really great bassist. His videos have always looked really good, too. Like, really well produced and everything. Great player. Excellent says, don't forget to talk about the YouTube changes. So, here's the thing. What a lot of people don't know is that I got on YouTube. I'm probably one of the first guys on YouTube, early adopter on YouTube. I got on the YouTube shortly after Hurricane Katrina. I'll tell you how I found YouTube, because when I'd come back to New Orleans to survey the damage, I had taken a lot of video. And I had edited that video, and I was looking for a place to host it, and YouTube was the spot. And I'm actually sorry that I deleted that original video. I'd re-uploaded, but that video had millions of views, right? Because it was the early stages of YouTube. Then I started doing like bass tutorials. And at that time, and for years, you could do a tutorial, you could do a play along or something like that, and you wouldn't get all these copyright strikes and all that stuff, you see? And so then YouTube started, it only takes 3 YouTube strikes for them to just wipe your channel out, right? And even though like YouTube is not a major source of income for me, it is sort of kind of a legacy piece for me. Like, I've had it for so long that I don't want to jeopardize it, right? One time, oddly enough, I posted a Prince tutorial of Stare, and Prince himself tweeted it, and that thing got like 20,000 views within a couple of hours. And somebody said in the comments, they were like, "You should be proud, Prince just tweeted you." And I was like, "Get the fuck out of here." And I looked, and indeed, he had tweeted it. That was a rare case. Thank you so much. Excellent. I appreciate it. Also, I think full transparency, I think Scott's bass lessons is probably the absolute best. Nobody's going to beat Scott. Not that it's a competition, but like I see like new bass teachers cropping up all the time. And I'm just like, nobody's going to top what he has built, right? And I don't particularly, like if you're teaching a song or whatever, it's hard to teach a song without, here's a reference to the song, playing the song. But then you risk the copyright strike, right? Even when I've played my own music, I have to let YouTube know that I am the copyright owner. I do own rights to the song. You see what I'm saying? Rick Beato has got some great videos out, talking about the copyright thing. And it's frustrating. Adam Neely. I remember when Adam Neely started. I mean, I'm telling you, I've been on YouTube a long time, and YouTube is a grind. It's a grind. Like, I don't think people who watch YouTube really understand what it takes to make even a poor quality or poorly produced video, right? It takes a lot of time. So for me, I've gone through all these iterations of the technology and stuff like that. And then I'm like, I need to make it a way so I don't have to like sync audio with the camera and all that stuff. I'm a one-man operation. I always have been, right? And so it's a grind, and YouTube pays like Spotify. You know what I mean? Like the amount of views you have to get on a video is absolutely insane for you to make nothing. So for educational content, right? For educational content, it's almost like you have to do or say like really salacious shit or do like really outrageous things. None of the things that I'm going to do to get views. You see what I'm saying? In order for it to make a real monetary dent. And that's why when I ask or say to the 37 people here, there's a link, there's Cash App, there's if there's any of my content that you have watched and gotten value of, buy me a cup of coffee. And I shouldn't be shy or reluctant or trepidatious to ask for it. When I graduated from college and I was teaching bass lessons in person, I was also an early adopter to Skype, right? Hear me. I was able to teach and charge any teacher, any music teacher was able to charge, any music teacher worth their salt was able to charge $75 an hour for a lesson. $75 an hour. And my private lesson's quite different from what I do on YouTube because, we're in person or whatever and blah, 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 blah. Then I try to change my content to where it's like, I want you to feel as though you are here with me. I don't care if there's 50 people looking. I want you to feel like you and I are kicking it but then you make a video and it's like, I'm fucking putting out a video of something that it took me 30 years to learn. Right? And I'm not fussing at you. This ain't about you. You know what I mean? It's just the system. It's just the system. And so YouTube comes along, and so then you could charge $60 an hour, then $50 an hour. And then big box companies like Guitar Center, and I taught at Guitar Center for a little while. You know what Guitar Center paid their instructors? $30. They got $60 from the student, but they paid the instructors $30. This is just the way of the world. This is not a woe is me. This is just the way things work. This is the way economies work. Things change over time, right? And so I guess I'm kind of hyping myself up too right now in front of all you guys, just to say that even if I put together a short lesson, and it's something that is there that you can rewind and watch over and over and over again, I'm really giving you something that has taken me a long time to learn. You know? So, you know, all I ask for myself or any other creator that you like, you know, buy us a couple. Woo! People are funny, man. Bourbon Street, playing on Bourbon Street or playing on Frenchman Street. I'm going to tell you what people will do. People will come down and they will take their cell phones out and their camera. When I used to come back to New Orleans and visit, I would look at tourists with their phones recording street performers or recording people in a club. And not walk by the fucking tip bucket. What kind of shit is that? They wouldn't walk by the tip bucket. And it would piss me off. And then when I start, and I'm like, you would have people in they come, and it would make it even worse is they come and they turn the flashlight on, and they don't know better. They're drinking, they're having a good time or whatever. But if nobody tells you, you don't know. People come and they recording me. One guy Saturday, guy stood up there and is trying to record me the whole time, and I just looked at him. I said, No. I didn't say nothing. I can't control it. But I didn't say shit. I just looked at him and shook my head. No. Or if I'm in a really fucked up mood, I'll just give him a shitty looking, or give him a hint or smile. Look at the tip bucket. Because this is how people are earning a living. Right? It's a great thing to live in a city where there's built-in. Thank you for the super chat, Jeff's Basement. Thank you for the super chat. It's great to live in a city that has a built-in tourism, but musicians and culture bearers in the city of New Orleans make this city go around, and they're often the people who are treated the shittiest. I was playing at 3090 pre-pandemic, and I just got, I was singing a song. I was singing, if you want me to stay, I'll be around. Singing that and mashing that up with, I'm not trying to pressure you, just 'cause I'm thinking about you. Anyway. And I had a little moment where the band broke down. I told the people in the crowd, I was like, hey, look, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. We having a good time or whatever. If you haven't done, just like the goddamn preachers ain't scared to do it. So why should a musician be scared to ask that they get a tip? If we don't say nothing, you won't know. If we don't say anything, you don't know. And what people don't realize is like these gigs don't be short gigs. They don't be the little 45-minute hit. They be 3 to 5 hour gigs. 3 to 5 hours. And there be people on the stage that got families. They got bills. They have debts like everyone else. You see? They have overhead like everyone else. And so I think whoopsies. The last stream went off. I guess we're going long here. Anyways, I guess you guys are still there. It still says 35 people in there. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I did not quit music. I'll never do that. And I appreciate you guys hanging in with me. I appreciate you watching my content, especially my regulars, man. Stephen Bird, Fleece, Excellent. Y'all know who y'all are. Everybody that dropped a super chat, JB, thank you. Adam Arts, thank you. You know, you guys are awesome. And, you know, we gonna make it do what it do. We're gonna continue to make it do. I'm gonna continue to make it do what it do. You know what I mean? You know, like my mom and them used to say, is one monkey don't stop, no show. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you hanging in. I'm actually about to go to another spot and play a little bit. But, you know, count it all joy. I'll leave you with this. After Hurricane Katrina, because I brought up Hurricane Katrina and I brought up my mother in this live stream. The house that I live in, this house, this room, my mother bought in 1989, right? And I moved away shortly after because I was just out of high school. This space where I'm sitting right now, the bed that was here in this space was tipped over. This house got about 6 feet of water in it. It's a lot of water. This house was all but destroyed in Hurricane Katrina. And then I had to leave my mother and I had to go back to California. And I want you to kind of get a visual. The block is full now, but it only just got full last year. For all those years since Hurricane Katrina, this was the only house on this block. The only house on this side of the street. This was the only house. This house stood by itself. All of the other homes had been destroyed, completely destroyed by Hurricane Katrina. 6 feet of water in the room that I'm in right now, 6 feet of water. And I could remember asking, because I would check on my mom, I would check on her just to see how she was doing. I mean, none of us knew how to process this, right? And so I remember asking her if she was okay one time. And she was living somewhere else in an apartment waiting for this whole thing to get straightened out. And she told me, she said, Ted, I'm not always happy, but I always have joy. I'm not always happy, but I always have joy. That's what my mother told me. For those of you who don't know, my mother is in the late stages of dementia, Lewy body dementia. She doesn't speak. She doesn't move. I'm not always happy, but I always have joy. I'm not always happy, but I always have joy. I'll see you guys.